Hi, I'm Allison Davis, and I am going to talk to you today about debt. I was out running errands the other day, and I was paying somebody for something, and I had my wallet here, and she said, "Is that a Dave Ramsey wallet?" And I said, "Yes, it is." And she said, "Oh, did you do that class?" And I said, "Yes, we did, and it was great." She said, "Did it stick?" And I said, "Yeah, it did. We did it about a year ago, and it's really changed my husband's and our life." And she kind of just stood there, and I thought, I said, have you done it? And she said, I mean, she obviously knew about it. She said, "Yeah, I did it a few years ago, but it didn't stick." And I said, "Well, are you and your husband in agreement about your finances? I mean, that's a big step right there." And she said, "Well, I do all our finances, but I just don't have the willpower," or something like that. And I said, "Well, the bottom line is you have to want to do it. If you're not motivated to do it, then you're not going to do it." So I gave her a couple of blog posts to look at, maybe give her some inspiration. I mean, we all need inspiration, encouragement in just about every area, but certainly this, one of the most difficult areas that any of us deal with. I mean, our society has indoctrinated us into the idea that we have to have credit. And so, back when we were like in our 20s, for me, that would be in the 80s, everybody's like, "Oh, you need to get credit. You need to get a credit card so you can get a credit report so people can see that you're good at paying back your bills." Well, why do we need credit? Why? I mean, it's a lie that was perpetrated on us, and really back to our parents. I don't know when the first credit card came. Dave Ramsey says maybe it was in the 50s or the 30s or somewhere in back there. But we now are a society that thinks we have to have credit, that thinks we have to have credit cards to do anything, and we don't. We can pay cash. We can pay cash for a house. That's a crazy thing, but a lot of people are doing it today. And so the first thing we have to all do is get out of this mindset that we have to have credit. And you can go to DaveRamsey.com or listen to him on the radio, and he'll tell you all about it. He will definitely inspire you. He has found a niche in our country that our country needs. It'd be nice if our country got on his plan. And he has helped us see the error of our ways. And so, because when we are in credit, we're in bondage. We're a slave to whoever we owe. And I mean, the word mortgage, mort, M-O-R-T, means death. Mortgage means death grip. Isn't that nice that we all have a death grip if we owe money on our house? Well, it is. I mean, the fact that we have a mortgage payment, and we are now to the point, my husband and I are to the point where we have no debt except for our house. And now we are pedal to the metal. I mean, our main goal is to get this house paid off as fast as we possibly can, so we don't have that bill, which is probably most people's biggest bill of the month, hanging over our head, and having to work at something we might not necessarily want to work at just to pay that darn bill that we went out and bought when we didn't have the money to buy it. We had to buy it on credit. Okay, just because everybody did it that way doesn't mean it's right. So we don't want to have a death grip on our life, because guess what? We're all put here for a purpose. We have a reason that we were born. God gifted us in certain areas. And if you don't know what your gift is, if you don't know what your reason for being here is, then that's step one. There is a reason, and you may have to go back to your childhood in your mind, or just somehow try to remember why you were put here. But there is a reason. And if you are on a treadmill, which we've been on, we've been married 14 years, and it seems like we're just now getting it together in this area. If you are on a treadmill and you're paying off credit cards, and every month you're making minimum payments on this and that, car payments, maybe you're driving a car that's, gosh, I know people that have $500 car payments. I mean, I gotta say, that's crazy. That could be a house payment in some parts of the country. But if you're doing that, you are on a treadmill, and you may very well be in a job you can't stand just to pay the bills. And your mind is occupied by, how am I going to pay these bills? And so there's no room in your mind. There's no room in your day to do the things God put you here to do. So you have to come back around, change your thinking, go back to square one. And again, Dave Ramsey has it all laid out. He gives you the steps, and it may take a few years. But if you just will persevere and just one day at a time, you can get to the point where you can get out of debt. I mean, at least get out of debt except for your house. And then, maybe tackle that later. But get out of debt, starting with your smallest debt first, because it's a psychological thing. If you get that first one paid off, and that's the easiest one to pay off, get it out of the way. Then the next one, the next biggest one, then the next one. He calls that the snowball. So, you just get in a snowball of paying off your debt and get those things paid off. And, there's some excitement there. But again, we all need encouragement. We all need, to help each other do this kind of thing because we have been taught the wrong way. I mean, how many of us as children were taught how to manage our money? And as young adults, maybe 12 to 20. None of us. They certainly don't have any of this kind of thing in the schools, or maybe they do. Who knows? Different school systems. But my gosh, this is a major, major area that people need to learn about and be taught about before they go out into the world, before they become adults, before they marry. And if you're single, get your stuff together before you get into a marriage, because you will probably, whether you think so or not, get married. And you will probably have children. Don't go into that with debt. Because, boy, let me tell you, when you start out with debt, and you're starting, oh, well, we need a house. Oh, well, we need a car. Oh, well, we need furniture. Oh, well, we need a TV. Well, we need cable TV. Well, we need, all these things. And before you know it, you are in debt up to your eyeballs. So if you're single, start dealing with this now so you can come to that marriage, male or female, with no baggage. I promise you, your life will be a whole lot better. So I'm sure there's areas of this that I didn't hit on that I wanted to, but I think that's enough for now. God bless you, and go get out of debt.